Okay, so I decided to catch the Talking Dead. This is going to be weird doing a slight recap, my thoughts on the show that is a recap and their thoughts of the show that I already do a recap and my thoughts of. This is kind of like the inception of recapping recap shows. This is one after The Grove, which of course is the one where Carol, Tyrese, the two girls, and Judith are there, and it ends with just being Carol, Tyrese, and Judith. I watched this one specifically because it had the woman who plays Carol, a woman who I know from Community, and Phil Brooks, a man formerly known as CM Punk. And that was the main reason why I wanted to see it, was because when he does it as CM Punk, there's a little bit more of an edge to him. But this time he did it as Phil Brooks. And he looked so relaxed. And it was, when they said it was Phil. It was Phil. If you're not following on Twitter, it's at CM Punk. But it's Phil. Everyone called him Phil. He was very relaxed. They actually asked him, they're like, wow, you seem really different. He's like, I'm a totally changed man now. But it was very interesting, the couple of questions that came through were pretty decent. I do agree that, people tend to like the character of Daryl. Daryl is an amazing character. Then you see Carol, it's the female version of Daryl. When they're in the prison, everyone's kind of like, those two totally need to hook up. They're the two characters who both showed up, who essentially also had abusive relationships. Carol had her husband, then you had, Merle and Daryl. So they both came from these pseudo-abusive relationships who really kind of didn't have a whole lot going on beforehand. Zombie apocalypse hits, and all of a sudden they are probably two of the best go-to people you could ever possibly wish to have during a zombie apocalypse. It's interesting, hearing her aspect when they did some of the special effects on how they did the crispy zombies. But when they talked with the girls about the fact that they were going to be put into a story where one was going to kill the other one was going to be shot by Carol. And when they described it, it was like, wow. The real you is so much more likable than the character you portrayed. So that part was very, very interesting, as well as seeing, Phil Brooks and his post-CM Punk, who seems to be really, really enjoying it. So that was my quick thoughts on The Talking Dead.